Hello and welcome to The Truth About Storytelling. This is Tyreen Martinson, poet, podcaster, and author. I am spending a month reflecting on my trip to Mongolia. So each week in the month of September, I will be doing a long episode that kind of is a freewheeling reflection on specific days of the trip that I took. And then I will be doing a short episode with just fun facts about Mongolia, and then another short episode about writing and how my Mongolian mission trip has affected my writing, with some writing prompts in that third episode. So be prepared for those types of episode each and every week in September, and today is a fun facts about Mongolia episode. So these will be just some fun, fast facts, some of which I knew before I left and that I found in tour books and online, and some of which I discovered while I was there. So first up, you might not know that Mongolia is a landlocked unitary sovereign state in East Asia, and it is a democracy. Second up, you might not know that present-day Mongolia was referred to as Outer Mongolia at one point, because Inner Mongolia is an autonomous region in the People's Republic of China, located in the north of the country. Inner Mongolia contains over 12% of China's land area and is the third largest subdivision of China. But it is not the same as the country of Mongolia, which is the one that I went to. And so I know I had some confusion about that. Before I went on the trip, I had different people thinking I was going to Inner Mongolia, but no, I was going to Mongolia, the country. Now, at one point in time, both of those Mongolias were all one part of a much larger Mongolian empire, which is how we ended up with that name confusion. Mongolia, the country, lies between China to the south and Russia to the north. It is actually bordered on three sides, south, east, and west, by China. So it is landlocked between two huge communist countries, and yet it is currently a democracy that must remain on friendly terms with its neighbors to continue to have enough gas and electrical power. Their relationship with Russia and China affects Mongolia's ability to have enough gas for their vehicles and enough electricity for their homes. While we were on the trip, there was a gas shortage because of the war that Russia has going on with Ukraine, and there was an electrical power outage for reasons unknown, but it lasted for about 4 hours, and life just kind of went on as best as it could. So it's got some challenges, being a landlocked country between those two huge communist dictatorships, even though it is a democracy. So with a population of around 3 million people, Mongolia by land area is the 18th largest country in the world, and it's the world's second largest landlocked country behind Kazakhstan. So half of the country, half of the 3 million people who live in Mongolia actually live in the capital city, Ulaanbaatar, which I still say wrong. I can't seem to get myself to say it right. It's like Ulaanbaatar. That's actually how it's said, or closer to that. And it's one of the coldest capital cities in the world, with an average annual temperature of 3.5 degrees Celsius. Now, in the summer, it's quite pleasant, especially if you're like me and you're from the Northwest and you only expect your summers to get to be about 70 degrees Fahrenheit. It's quite pleasant in the summer in Mongolia. But as soon as the seasons change and you head into fall, the Arctic wind comes down from the north and it gets chilly fast. We experienced that near the end of our trip. September 2nd, the winds changed and it went from 60 degrees during the day to 40 degrees at night, and the wind chill, even during the morning, was quite brisk. So you can have a beautiful sunny day, but need to wear layers because of the wind chill. So it is the world's most sparsely populated country. So even though it's got the 18th largest landmass, it's the world's most sparsely populated country. It's because the land area is 1.6 million kilometers and the population is 3 million. So with an average altitude of 1,580 meters above sea level, or it was over 5,000 something feet above sea level. Mongolia is one of the highest countries in the world. If you are there, you are at a fairly high elevation compared to many places in the United States. So I come from Washington State in the Pacific Northwest. I'm used to living at sea level all of the time, or nearly at sea level all the time. When I visit one of my daughters in Montana, I get up to around that 5,000 feet above sea level range. That's about where all of Mongolia is at. And so you have to kind of train yourself to get ready for that if you travel there. And know that the first couple of days, if you're not used to being at that elevation, you may be extra tired. You may need to take some extra vitamins, put on some extra sunscreen, because you're definitely going to feel that difference unless you are an athlete. And even athletes are going to feel that difference if they're not used to training at that elevation. And I'm definitely not athletic, but I had traveled to places at high elevation before, so I kind of knew what was coming. I knew those first few days I would be tired, and that would be in addition to having jet lag, which I definitely had. So those are my fun facts about Mongolia today. I will share some more next week. And you may ask, what does this have to do with writing and storytelling? And I can tell you this, that I find travel fascinating, because when we see a different place, whether it's different geography or different people, different culture, we experience something amazing. We experience something new. And I think that can definitely be something that flows into our writing, changes who we are, changes what we write about, maybe gives us more compassion for other people, helps us to understand a little bit about different cultures, and maybe want to present different cultures in our writing. One of the reasons that I love fantasy and science fiction writing is because it gives me an opportunity to explore different ideas in different places in a fictional way. And so while no, I've never written about Mongolia in any of my fiction, there might be some nods to my trip to Mongolia in my future fiction projects. I might write about people living in a sparsely populated land, or people living at a higher elevation than others. I don't know yet. I haven't gotten there, but I know that trip will definitely influence my writing. So in the next episode this week, I will be sharing more about writing and sharing some writing prompts on Friday. So thank you for joining me. If you want to hear my longer reflection about Mongolia, that would be in my last episode, episode 91. And so you could hear a really long-winded reflection on my first couple days if you go to that one. Thank you for joining me. This is Tyreen Martinson with The Truth About Storytelling.